we'll take the debate in that direction of what happens from here. But for the moment, I want to focus, and I want to get Mr. Sharma into this, on the Prime Minister. I just want to take you through a quick word from what the Supreme Court said. It says, we find it now more than 16 months, the sanctioning authority, that is the Prime Minister, cannot say I am not inclined to give sanction. We find the alleged inaction and silence troubling. This coming from the highest court in the land. Do you think it is correct to say if this had happened when Manmohan Singh was finance minister and anybody, let alone the Supreme Court, had said this, he would have packed his bags and gone back home?
Well, you're right that the Prime Minister has been caught on the wrong foot here. But to be fair to him and to the best of my knowledge, even Mr. Subramanian Swamy doesn't say ever that the Prime Minister's integrity is questionable. You can question his timing, you know. I know that this complaint was made by Mr. Subramanian Swamy in the first term of the UPA, and when Mr. Raja was IT Minister, and second term again he became IT Minister. And if you recall the events, the Prime Minister didn't want this man in the first instance, together with Mr. Balu, and there was a compromise reached that out of the two, let's have at least one as part of a coalition arrangement. Now in June, it is a fact, and you reported that event, that he has to go, and we also in the Hindustan Times reported that Prime Minister wants to hang up on Mr. Raja. In June, again Mr. Karunanidhi put his foot down and would have nothing of it.
But we've seen in the past, one second, Mr. Sharma, we've seen in the past, there have been numerous occasions when the Prime Minister has put his foot down. He has said, I will stake my government's survival on the Indo-US nuclear deal, which is, you know, the advantages of which are so far away. Here is something which is now directly impacting what the people of India think about this Prime Minister.
You're right. There cannot be any two opinions about that. But you know, forcing a midterm election on the country is also a major decision, which a Prime Minister has to seriously contemplate whenever he moves in that direction.
But here's someone, someone who's different. This is not an ordinary Prime Minister. This is a Prime Minister who's built up his reputation around honesty and integrity.
Because he has not done that, he finds himself on the wrong side of the Supreme Court judgment in the Hawala
Sandeep,
case.
What can his defense be? Does he have a defense?
Rahul, in 92 and 93, when the security scam broke and the same Dr. Manmohan Singh was finance minister, he actually offered to resign. He gave his resignation to P.V. Narasimha Rao, who was Prime Minister, because there was a huge hue and cry over the extent, the scope and size of that security scam engineered by Harshad Mehta. But we don't see similar action from the Prime Minister this time round. Let me take you back to November 2nd is what I mentioned the other day in one of the chats, that November 2nd, Dr. Manmohan Singh wrote to A. Raja saying that please use a price discovery mechanism through an open auction, and then that is the way you'll get the correct pricing of spectrum which you're going to allocate. Raja wrote some cock and bull and sent it back to him on the 26th of December. On the 3rd of January, this is 7 days before the actual letters of intent were given out and checks of 1651 were received from each of the 9 operators. On the 3rd of January, there is a one-line letter from the Prime Minister addressed to A. Raja which says, I thank you for your comments on the telecom sector, warm regards. Even on the 3rd of January, he could have intervened. There is the Law Minister, there is the Law Secretary, there is the Tri-Chairman, there is the Secretary DOT, D.S. Mathur, there is the Member Finance, Manju Madhavan, and then there is also the Finance Secretary, now Reserve Bank of India Governor D. Subbarao. All of them at different points in time over a 2-month period before January 2008, when this major act, calamity, whatever you want to call it, actually took place. All of them wrote detailed and terse notes to A. Raja and the Department of Telecom, red flagging the sale of